This week, on Sunday night, there was a meeting for the Beis Brucha home for young children who had just been born, and mothers and children at home. Children who are just newborn children. And this is what it's all about. Jewish life, caring for each other and for all kinds of things. But at the meeting, I met a few people and they came up to me and said, "Why don't you do any more videos?" I said, "I do." He said, "Yes, but you put on all different kinds of things, of people you meet, like I want to put on about Azriel Toba and other people I meet to record. And my world, people I meet in the world I go around by." And they said, "No, tell us your own experiences. This is what they really want to hear, what you have to say. The way you say things, they want to hear things I have to say." This Dr. Adler, as they were talking about the Beis Brucha, this is mother and child home, they talked about Dr. Adler. And Dr. Adler was a really fantastic person. A really unbelievable, fantastic person Dr. Adler was. He really cared about other people. And his Yerushalayim, his being such an Erlich Yid, is unbelievable to explain. I want to tell a story about him. My mother, Mrs. Brocha Locke, she died in 1983, a long time ago. And she was a patient of his. And I used to go with my mother, my stepmother she was, because my real mother died when I was born. It was my stepmother. She really looked after us very much. She was a really good mother to us. I can't say, I've come across people, but I've never come across people who have got stepmothers like my stepmother was to me. And I used to take her to Dr. Adler, and I used to sit there for hours waiting for her to be seen. You could spend hours there. I used to take her there, drop at 6 and come home at 11, 12 o'clock at night. Anyway, when she passed away, she had angina and she was heart troubles and all other kinds of things. And Dr. Adler treated her and cared for her. And I used to make people laugh there in their surgery. And his wife once complained to Dr. Adler that he comes in here and makes a theatre out of the surgery. So Dr. Adler said, his making the people laugh is a healthier thing than maybe the way treatment I give them. Anyway, my mother died, and I was once passing about a few months later after she died. I passed the whole surgery, and I decided to go in and see Dr. Adler and ask him. The question I wanted to ask him. I was really down and felt in my belief in the Rabbi Shalom. I felt the whole world had come to an end. I wanted to go in and talk to Dr. Adler. And you could sit there for hours, and I had no time to go in there. So I went to the door anyway. And as I came in, his wife, Mrs. Adler, she's still alive today, she talked to me and she said, I said, "I just want to talk to Dr. Adler for 1 minute." At that time, Dr. Adler didn't have a beard and didn't even have a couple on in his surgeries. This is, we're talking about a long time ago, 1983. Anyway, I come to the door and I said, "No, I'll wait here, I'll see Dr. Adler, I'll stop him and I'll say I want to ask him something." So as Dr. Adler, I waited a few minutes, about 10 minutes, and as Dr. Adler came out of seeing one patient, I said, "Dr. Adler, I'd like just to ask you something for a minute, if you don't mind. I can't wait in the queue here." So he said, "Yeah, come inside. He took me into the room in the back, and I said to him, "Dr. Adler, you know something? I don't understand how you don't lose betochen and a minute in the Rabbi Shalom when you see so much tragedy. I lost my mother, and straight away my whole betochen is questioned, my whole emunah, my whole belief in God. As soon as something gets, you get one little hit in the nose, you feel you lose your whole emunah, your whole betochen, your whole belief in God. How don't you lose your belief in God?" And when Dr. Adler heard this, I cannot portray to you the way. He suddenly said, Chas v'sholom, Chas v'sholom. And he put his hand into his pocket. Out came a little kippah, a couple. He put it on his head. And he said to me, on the contrary, Chas v'sholom, he said to me, how can I lose my belief? I see so many patients who I don't know how they're alive. I don't know how they're living. And I see they're still alive. And God helps them, they're still alive. How can I lose my bitochen? And then I learned a lesson in life from this Dr. Adler. I learned that with the way you look at things, you have to look at belief in God and understanding that Kol Mad Aved Hashem et Tov, everything God does is for good. And you have to see the good. Sometimes you can't see the good, of course, because you've got black eyes. You don't see the good God, and we don't understand the end product of everything, the end product of life, and the end product God gave you your situation in life. And from then on, I decided that every situation in life I will try and see that it's good. This is my partner, and whatever problems we have to live through. And I couldn't have lived through anybody else. Not throw your partner away. Sometimes, like you see, people get divorced and throw their partner away and think they can make an easier life for themselves. You have to go through these tests. Your partner and you are part of the emunah of life. God put you together. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yoshev Umazavik Zevigim. The Rebbeinu Shalom sits and makes Zevigim. He puts you together, and because you have together have to go through these tests in life. Every situation is made through God. And if you got your eyes like that and you see everything only from God, you look at life completely different. And that's what was wrong with me. I was looking, everything is bad. Dr. Adler said, on the contrary, I looked at everything, I lost my belief, God doesn't care. On the contrary, there's so many people who he doesn't know how they live and they're still alive. How can I lose my bitochen? A lesson I learned from this great man who used every minute of his life, l'toivas Hashem, to help people, and where he could learn. He didn't use any minute as a tzaddik. He was a rebbe. That's what our tzaddik is about. Using the potential you've been given in life for every minute and every second for the Rebbeinu Shalom. That was Dr. Adler. I told his son that at the meeting last night from Beis Brucha. He was on his way out. I don't know whether he heard it. Well, he did hear it, I think. He said to me, yes, it's a very nice story. Because I wanted to portray, everybody was write stories in Hamodiar and everywhere else. You see all stories about Dr. Adler. It's all very nice stories. But this brings out the whole of Dr. Adler and the purpose of your life.